Do we get many opportunities to talk about rich black people in television or black people that survive the stories they are put in? No, we don't, which is why so many of you connected to Mara Brock Akil's Netflix show Forever. While Forever depicts two realistic interactions between two realistic black families, it's characters like the one Karen Pittman plays that are often invisible to their own social class. Karen Pittman plays Dawn Edwards, who is the type of black woman that people either constantly undermine or question or get triggered when they do finally accept that she is what she is. Look at her in her Zimmerman. She is a loving, devoted, strong, thoughtful, involved corporate executive finance mother. Now, none of those things in the black community are unbelievable. Most of us know an auntie, have a mom, have a godmother who is all of those things. Educated, financially comfortable, confident in their own skin, happy to enjoy their life. And we know that those women that we know are constantly asked to show their papers. And let me tell you, they know when they're being quizzed about their social status. According to the National Center for Statistics on Education, black women make up the most educated demographic in America, and that's for associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and doctorates. We went from being the most owned people who were the bedrock for birthing future enslaved people so that the American economy could keep going to outpacing everybody in education. And a lot of that progress has happened in the last 2 decades. Are women like Dawn chronically underpaid and underrepresented? Absolutely. This is because socially and politically, women like Dawn are expected for the comfort of other people to fit in this very narrow understanding of what it is to be black. And those narrow stereotypes are what justified this democracy's legal and systemic treatment of them in the first place. People say, you can't please black people because they're either talking about their magical futures or they're always talking about the past and they want to bring up history and facts and slavery and it ended so long ago. Sit down and talk to an educated, fancy, black, rich lady and let her tell you. Well, she actually doesn't have to tell you anything. But if you listen to their stories, you hear of people who are constantly surprising people for the fact that they exist in those spaces. People who are constantly shocked at their capability, their strength, and their financial acuity. Other Americans routinely treat the Dawns of the world as if they already know them. They flatten all their complex emotions and feelings into anger. They expect these women to take off their Chanel earrings if somebody upsets them at brunch. But you can expect that in a country that refuses to educate its population or even reflect on the history that this democracy has played in forcing black women to be part of a certain role for hundreds of years. Many Americans have not even begun to admit the fact that they have a disgust or a fear towards blackness. They can't even look at the ways they are anti-black. They don't even understand why they're uncomfortable around black joy and black ease. In Mississippi the other day, a group of black women were practicing yoga by the river, and guess what? Someone called the police on them. And you know why someone called the police on them? It's not a prank. There were too many of them in one place. Our flourishing and happiness is suspicious because it's not been normalized. It's not even accepted as real. We must have gotten our boarding school sweatshirts from the Goodwill bin. It's why they think all your bags are fake. And why you didn't get into that college because you deserve it, but because they needed a black woman to fill that spot. If you have to accept that a black woman might be doing better than you might have to face some of your feelings of inadequacy. You might have to deal with your feelings about blackness and the way the story that you've been told about American greatness is more about class warfare and class control and apartheid and not about a certain group of people getting what they want because they work hard and know how to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That requires you to reconfigure an entire American story about the economy and who gets to succeed in it, and that's destabilizing to people. It's just easier to believe that you stole the Zimmerman blouse. But a lot of us watching the show, we recognize Dawn. We recognize those feelings. She represents those of us who have managed to achieve a dream that has been legally withheld from our ancestors. Dawn gets to choose to be a mother. She gets to choose to wear Chanel. She gets to choose to live in a certain neighborhood. She gets to choose where she works. She gets to choose if she summers with her friends. She gets to chart an educational journey for her children so she can maximize their future. She is setting them up to financially also have power. It matters that audiences see Dawn gift her son a Jeep or navigate private school options for him and preferences because mass media has depicted black women incorrectly and also correctly due to the history as only being in states of survival or suffering. It's not that we are underrepresented and that mass media has not depicted black womanhood. It has. It just hasn't depicted it like this. It has not shown what has also been true, which is that women like this in our communities, by community strength and work, have created women like this. That even when we are denied opportunity, the community churches on. That when given a chance to be our full, powerful selves, we more than succeed. Mara Brock-Akil and Netflix had 8 million choices in front of them in order to tell Judy Blume's story of Forever, to remake it. By picking this experience of a very human but impressive and cool Dawn, they are giving us an image that was intentionally suppressed. It would be great if American audiences could understand that Black women are just not unique martyrs in the American story. Our story is not about us waiting for America to graciously extend its generous, benevolent hand to us so we could be something. We are people who deserve to be heard, to be listened to be believed, to be looked up to. Women like Dawn are not magic, they are real, and they are not rare, they are out there. They are the product of freedom. They are the product of a freedom that people have been pushing for generations. A freedom we are still pushing for and a respect we are still insisting on. To be treated like human does require some kind of law against your dehumanization, absolutely. But nobody starts to humanize you through law. Law is what follows after a story in a society has been changed, and storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to do that. And it is in mass media, it is in television, it is in the arts, the stories we make ourselves for ourselves that sell a better story than the one white supremacy tried to tell. Not only a better story, a truer one. Dawn Edwards as a fictional character matters, and so do you. You, as an educated, fancy Black woman who's going after a life of freedom and pursuing the things you know you're called to. You are more than a dream come true. You are a reality that was prayed for and protested for. Thank you, Mara Brock-Akil, for tenderly showing us who we are.